Hi, my name is Marcella Sandoval, and I'm presenting my community needs assessment on family homelessness within Contra Costa County. The purpose of this community needs assessment was to identify the resources that are currently available for homeless families in Contra Costa, and identify any potential gaps in services or resources. In order to accomplish this needs assessment, I went ahead and interviewed 3 community organizations. The 3 community organizations were selected due to their interaction with homeless families and their ability to provide insight. I interviewed Melissa with Shepherd's Gate. I also interviewed Bill with Winter Nights program, and Aide with Shelter Inc. 2 of the interviews were conducted in person and at the organization's location, and one of the interviews was accomplished via email correspondence. The in-person interviews were audio taped and lasted 30 minutes, and once all 3 interviews were completed, I went ahead and transcribed them and compared them to determine the needs of the homeless families in Contra Costa, as well as the resources that are currently available and the resources that are potentially missing. As a result of the interviews, I came across some vital information. For example, when I asked the agencies about the clients that they serviced, they all indicated that they generally service anywhere between 18 individuals to 30 individuals. One agency indicated that they could only service 18 individuals, which comprised of 10 women and 8 children, and the 2 other agencies indicated that they were able to service up to 30 individuals, which equates to about 7 to 9 families. When asked about the demographics of the clients that they service, all of the shelters indicated that the demographics vary, but that they service all ethnicities, all races, and all ages of families throughout the Bay Area. When asked about the typical family construct of their clients, all 3 agencies indicated that as well varies, but the most common forms or family constructs that they come across are single mothers with 1 or 2 children, or 2-parent households with 1 or 2 children, and on occasion they do see single fathers with 1 or 2 children on average, and grandparents with children. When asked about the requirements for families to obtain services, all of the agencies indicated that the requirement was generally for the family construct to have at least 1 minor child. And one agency indicated that they, in addition to that, required their clients to maintain sobriety while in the program. When I asked them about how long the clients were able to obtain services, the agencies indicated that they could obtain services generally between 8 months to a year. When asked if the clients received any transitional services upon their discharge from the program, all agencies indicated that during their stay with the agencies, the clients were infused with connections to resources and services with the objective of having them transition into temporary or permanent housing upon their discharge. When asked about the challenges that they might experience, all 3 of the agencies indicated that their biggest challenges were related to finances, whether it was finances or funding related to the organization and the agency itself, or with regards to finding affordable housing for their clients. When asked about the strengths of the group or the homeless families that they service, all 3 agencies indicated that the families were resilient, that they showed an immense capacity to bounce back and to move forward with their lives. Finally, when asked about additional services that they felt the homeless families within our county needed, two areas came up. One was the issue with supportive services like dental, medical, mental health services, financial services, and even legal services that they felt all of the homeless families could benefit from. And the other area was the area of the stigma that homeless families encounter because they don't necessarily define what society in general perceives as a homeless person, which is dirty, on the streets, completely destitute. So stigma was definitely another area that they found that homeless families kind of struggled and that needed to be addressed. As a result of all of the interviews, one recurring issue came up over and over again, and that was the issue of affordable housing. Bill from Winter Nights mentions that his biggest frustration was encountering families who were working but just did not earn enough to sustain an apartment. And Melissa from Shepherd's Gate indicated that affordable housing was also an issue for her, but they were fortunate enough to circumvent the situation by providing temporary housing on their own facility. A possible solution to the issue of affordable housing would be for these three agencies to potentially come into a collaborative or a contract with 2 or 3 apartment complexes that are already accepting Section 8 housing. And as part of this agreement, they would request that these apartment complexes separate or put apart 1 or 2 apartments that are always available for clients of these 3 agencies to be able to transition their clients into for temporary housing. And since they're already Section 8 home or housing, it'd be at an affordable cost for the clients. In addition to that, they can also form a collaborative or a contract with the cities in which these apartment complexes are in, and request that they provide some sort of benefit to the companies that run the apartment complexes for going into the agreement with these agencies. And in order to disseminate my findings about affordable housing, I plan to contact all 3 agencies and thank them for participating in the needs assessment, and also discuss the possibility of forming a coalition with neighboring apartment complexes to address the issue of affordable housing. I believe that the most important factor that made the needs assessment successful were the actual agencies that I interviewed. All of the agencies have been serving the community and Contra Costa for many years, and no homeless family, the population, the issues that revolve it around this issue. And they are also very well connected to the resources within the community. One factor that hindered the effectiveness of my assessment were the 2 agencies that I struggled to just interview. I felt like I wasted a lot of time that could have been invested in the agencies that were willing to be interviewed. If I had to do it all over again, I think I would just drop into those agencies and talk to them in person instead of over the phone. Overall, I thought that this was a wonderful experience. I not only learned a lot about the homeless issue within my county, but I also learned about the many resources that are available within the county. I also forged connections with the wonderful individuals that run the agencies that I interviewed, and I plan to stay connected with them. I plan to use them as resources in my future career. Thanks so much.